Okay, the reviews for Dragon Age Veilguard just dropped this morning, and a little bit before the reviews dropped, a channel called Fextralife released a video saying it seems like BioWare was selectively giving out review code a little more than usual and encouraging people to wait, to be patient until other reviewers that the audience may feel more faith in finally get a chance to review. So if you have a reviewer that you like to listen to personally, you should maybe wait for their review. That's pretty much what they were arguing, because early reviews seem like they're going to be a little biased. So, it's always good to be informed. I would say you can even argue maybe you should wait weeks to months until the honeymoon period goes away. Now, the honeymoon period can be any unknown amount of time depending on what game it is. So, but you can usually wait like a month, and a lot of people, it'll kind of go out of their mind. And so a lot of the initial bias will go away, but that's really up to you. So if we look at one of the initial early reviews, IGN really liked it. So a 9 out of 10. I was predicting no matter what, IGN would be on the 7 to 10 scale. And they did seem really defensive of it when in all the previews. So a 9 out of 10 isn't very surprising to me. Now, I encourage you to inform yourself if you want to read IGN's review or watch their review and have more of an informed opinion, you should do that. You shouldn't just look at a number. You shouldn't just listen to me. But this is IGN and one of the examples of early corporate reviewers. So this is why people are saying maybe this isn't going to be representative. This could be bias. Be cautious. Try to be an informed consumer. So if someone informed me about a very hardworking, a little bit smaller YouTuber who also did a review today of Dragon Age Veilguard, and that's very interesting. And this is Mortismal Gaming. And if you look at his review, he mentions in his review that he thinks this is one of the best Dragon Age games ever, and it might be his game of the year. So, this is a smaller channel endorsing the game in that way. It's only 348,000 subscribers. He's a very hardworking guy. You can tell he 100% games before he reviews them. That's his whole stick. Now, sometimes he doesn't do this and he discloses it. That's a good thing. He claims to use his Steam profile as objective proof, whereas you can kind of that doesn't disprove the idea of multiple people using the same Steam profile to get out reviews faster. So I don't know to the extent that he has people reviewing games on this channel, but he makes it appear as if he's the only one reviewing games on this channel. So all I can do is take his word for it, right? And so if we make that assumption that he's the only one reviewing games on his channel, we know something very interesting about Dragon Age Veilguard. Dragon Age Veilguard went gold 3 weeks ago, or at least it was publicly announced to have gone gold 3 weeks ago. So what that can tell us is that he couldn't have reviewed Dragon Age Veilguard in longer than a 3-week period unless he was using a earlier version that's not representative of the retail release. And it's true, it might have gotten updated part way while he was playing it, but he didn't mention any of that. So I assume he at least had the gone gold version that was 3 weeks ago. So we can do a little math to find out how hard of a worker Mortismal Gaming is. And I think we should appreciate how hard of a worker this guy is. So according to him, a completionist playthrough per character would take 50 to 60 hours. Now I've seen some estimates online that would support that. So we're going to kind of take his word for it. He also mentioned that you need 3 playthroughs to kind of see everything. So you have to play through at least 3 characters. So that's at least 50 hours apiece. So that's at least 150 hours. And then I heard a low estimate for beating the game. Now, the problem is the game just came out and we have no great way, at least the reviews just lifted the embargo for the reviews of it. So that's how we know about very little about the game so far, is we're just finally getting information about it. So I've heard estimates for beating the game are 40 hours per character. He said there was 6 factions. He said he still played through as all 6 factions, but didn't imply he did a completionist playthrough on all 6 factions. So it wouldn't be fair to give him that much credit. So the low ball I heard for beating the game was 40 hours on a character. So if we make an assumption that he did 40 hours per the other characters, that's 3 more characters, that's 120 more hours. That's 270 hours in 3 weeks. That's very impressive. So if we divide that by 3, that's 90 hours per week. See, that's a really hard working guy. You know, we got to give him a lot of credit. And so if we go, how much has this guy been doing in the past 3 weeks? I mean, he's very interesting. We got to assume he has an editor. So we can't assume he's been editing videos this whole time. And these smaller videos, you know, it could be a quick voiceover. Like he could do a quick voiceover in like 20 minutes a day or something for these various videos, and then toss it to an editor, and then the editor pulls gameplay and takes his voiceover and just quickly shoots out a video that day. So, you know, most of these videos I wouldn't count against him at all. It wouldn't be fair. And most of it's just an opinion. And most of them can be pushed out really, really fast. So we're going to give him a lot of credit. But a lot of that doesn't take very much time. But if you go back, remember, Dragon Age went gold 3 weeks ago. So if we go back to roughly what has he been doing in these past 3 weeks, and he 100% reviewed this game. Now, I don't have numbers for it, but he also did a first impressions of this game, Rogue Waters. So this is one game he both played for the first time and 100%ed in this 3 week period. But I don't have numbers, so we're not going to include that game. This Tactical Breach Wizard review, I don't know when he first started playing it, but so I can't really count that against that time in his 3 week period. It supposedly takes 30 hours to beat, but we're not able to factor that in effectively, because it would be up to an additional 30 hours. But what we can attempt to add into that is he did his first impressions of Metaphor ReFantazio 2 weeks ago, and then he did his review 9 days ago, a 100% review. Isn't that amazing? Now, you have to remember, he did 270 hours of Dragon Age Inquisition in that time, while also playing this game. If we add the completionist time that I see estimated online, I think it's on How Long to Beat, it's 98.5 hours. So he did an additional 98.5 hours in this 3 week period, because this guy's a really hard worker. So if we factor that in, and then we divide that by the 3 weeks he was working, this guy actually did 122.8 hours per week. Now, you gotta just, like, that's impressive. Doing 122.8 hours per week. So if we keep in mind there's 168 hours per week, and then you subtract that 122 0.8 hours per week. He had 45.2 hours per week to do anything else in his life. If you divide that by 7, so he had roughly 6.5 hours per day to do anything that wasn't constantly gaming. So if he had to do things like sleep, eat, bathe, he had 6.5 hours to do it. Now, you can always outsource things to kind of do more work in a smaller amount of time. And so that's why he can have all these videos done, because he had other people edit his videos probably, because it takes a long time to play these games, obviously. So now maybe he decided to outsource these less necessary activities, like he paid someone to sleep for him and paid someone to eat for him. We can't really be sure how much he pays other people to help him out. So I don't really want to hold that against him necessarily. But, you know, we can say this guy's a really hard worker. I mean, 123 hours per week. And he decided Dragon Age the Veilguard was his game of the year already. Isn't that amazing? We really got to give credit to this little guy, Mortismal Gaming. He's just such an amazing, hardworking guy.